Hey, what's going on, people? Now, it's been way too long since I've made a video, which is not good. I mean, if there's one regret I've got for the last 75 plus days, is that I didn't make video updates every day. I mean, the written updates were great, but I think video updates would have been a lot more, they would have had a lot more impact, and it probably would have been pretty cool to see me moaning, bitching, whining one day and then being lively and ecstatic the next day. But it is what it is anyway. So I thought I'd do a quick video because it's been a long time, but I thought I'd just share some thoughts about the 75 hard program, which I completed a few days ago. But to put things into context, I mean, this whole corona period has been absolutely crazy. I mean, when things kicked off back in, February, I think, things really kicked off the day I got to Pakistan. And then, we were stuck. Well, we weren't really stuck. We thought we were going to be stuck in Pakistan. We were there for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And we had no idea whether we were going to be able to make it back into the country. And, if you were following me or connected with me in that period, you will have remembered that I used to make some pretty silly ass videos every few days about my escapades in Pakistan. But we made it back, and then the period back in England immediately after that was just absolute chaos in terms of work. There was just things flying about left, right, center. I started working on one project and then another one and then another one, and it just all went into one giant mess. And then I hit the period of absolute slumpness, which isn't even a word, but who gives a crap. And my Netflix binge started. So literally I spent 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day watching Netflix. And the TV drama that I watched was a Turkish serial called Ertugrul, and that's got something like, it's got five seasons, but there's something like 70 to 90 episodes per season. So it was a really long, really long serial, and that's why I ended up watching like 6 hours a day to get it done. And I did get it done in the space of about 2.5 months or something, which was absolutely crazy. But that really did put me into this massive slump. But the good thing about that, I mean, only Muslims will relate to this, but the good thing about watching Ertugrul was that this was a series about Islamic history, and when you end up watching it, you end up feeling like, yeah, I want to go and do jihad. And to the Western mind, that's going to sound crazy, because to the Western world, jihad is some Islamic terrorist concept. It really isn't. It's actually a very powerful an important concept. Jihad, it does mean holy war, but there are two types. The lesser of the two types, so there's a lesser jihad and a bigger jihad, and the lesser jihad is the typical external wars that countries and nations fight and whatnot. But the bigger jihad, the more important one, is the war with yourself, jihad and nafs. And the funny thing about that is, when you do 75 hard, and when you listen to the podcast by Andy Frisella, who set up the program called 75 hard, the actual title of his podcast is called 75 hard, a tactical plan to win the war with yourself. So it's pretty cool that I've gone into this slump and I'm watching this series that's got me all piped up about jihad, and then I'm actually taking a program which is literally a war with yourself. And that's what I really wanted to touch upon today, because there's so much anger out there, there's so much frustration, and there's so much arguments, and everyone's got a problem with somebody, Trump this or Biden that, or they're angry at the government, they're angry at this person not wearing a mask and that person's wearing a mask, and bloody yada. Here's the bottom line, guys. The only fight that you need to have, the only battle that you need to have, and the only war that you need to have is the war with yourself. It really doesn't matter what other people do. It really doesn't matter what other people say. Like, the only thing that matters is what you do with yourself. And with that being said, like, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you take the 75 hard program, because it literally will change your life. It will transform you. I mean, for myself, like, I'm approaching my mid-30s now, and for the last 5 years, so towards the end of my 20s and the beginning part of my 30s, like, I've just been feeling crap, mentally and physically. Like, there's been brain fog and tiredness and fatigue and low energy, and like, and then physically there's just this area here, it's just felt like right, from all the bad eating habits. Like, it's just not feeling sick, it's just been feeling like like, there's just so much gunge and crap and poison just stuck in my body. And I remember going to bed every night, almost every night, and turning my side, and heartburn and indigestion or whatever it was, I don't know what it was, it's just a very uncomfortable feeling used to come up every single night. And 80 days ago, I'm still in this sort of situation where I've got low mood, low energy, frustrated, stressed, anxious. But now I'm like, yo, I've got so much energy right now. I mean, it's like 6:30 in the evening, and normally I'm ready to go to bed at this time. I'm ready to zonk out, but I've got so much energy right now, and this is what's incredible about this whole thing. So I've put in a lot of work, which before, just thinking about doing that work would tire the hell out of me. But now there's just so much energy. I'm walking around with a different mindset. I'm walking around with a swagger, literally. I am walking around town with a swagger, which is a far cry from the guy that used to hide in his bedroom, who would refuse to go out and would just not want to be seen or heard from or by anyone. So literally, like, I could go on all day long talking about all of the benefits that I extracted from this program, but it's going to take too long. So what I'll do instead is probably put out different videos, shorter form videos about all of those things. But truly, like, I am walking around with a lot more confidence. I'm a lot more self-assured, and there's just this feeling now. There is no doubt in my mind that if I want to do something, I now know 100% that I will get it done. And that feeling is just priceless. Like, I have taken so many paid programs, I've gone on so many courses and all kinds of stuff, and it's taken a free program to put me into this state of absolute certainty, and provided this self-belief, which is absolutely priceless. And you can have that too. You can get that feeling and get to that stage if you put in the work. Like, 75 days is not a long time. I mean, when you're going through it, it does feel like a long time. Like, when I was on day 1 and day 2 and whatnot, it felt like, this is going to take forever. But now looking back, it just felt like yesterday. So it really is not a long time to literally transform your life forever. So a lot of people have been asking me about the program. Fair play to the people that have actually taken action and decided to do it. But all of you other people that have been asking me about the program, but for whatever reason you found an excuse to say, oh, I don't have the time, or I can't do this, yada yada yada. Put the excuses to one side. Get this program done. I promise you, you will not be the same person in 75 days. Do the program, stick to it, remain consistent, no excuses. You will be a better person in 75 days. And with that, guys, I will leave you to it, and I will do another video maybe tomorrow or in a few days time. Take care now. Bye bye.